don't think I won't laugh or any of those things, because that's what happens. Okay. Close, we're good, they can see you. Okay.
I'm already laughing.
Yeah, it's hard. And that's why your sister and your laugh so hard. But I'm going to remind you, make sure you talk a little louder because we're that much farther away from the microphone. So just in case. Okay. All right. Oh, it's the date.
Can you move over
21st?
more?
No, you're good. You're good. 21st. Okay. And we're set. It's 57 right now. Okay. So we're going to smile for 2 seconds. Good morning, FlossTube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and it is Sunday, August 21st. We are 1 week away from Needlework Expo, and I have a very special guest today. I'm totally fangirling. She's actually in my house, which my mom will be freaking out over right now, but I have Marty Barrick here with me, and she is the designer of Carriage House Samplings. So welcome.
Thank you.
You're very
so much fun to be here.
Yes. So we are going to have a really good time today, and we had such a great opportunity. We were discussing some of her patterns and things like that about a week ago, and I thought, hey, you know how I am. I'm going to jump on and ask, would you like to do a FlossTube with me? And she said yes. So here we are today. And I'm going to go through my week really quickly, and then we are going to focus on Carriage House Samplings, Marty Barrick, and a few of the really cool connections that I have learned from her recent move. How long have you been in Mount Dora now?
Since the end of October.
You're going on a year.
Yes.
She's approaching a year of being a Florida girl.
Right.
And you came from where?
I came from Maryland.
Maryland.
Yep.
And you came down. You have family here, mom's here, and a brother?
I have two older brothers and a 98-year-old mother.
Who I have met at my LNS, and she's just cute as a button. Cute as a button. So anyways, this week I had two finishes. I did finish Ellen Barber, but since I knew we were going to do this special Meet the Designer today, I went ahead and took it to the framer. Because who has patience? So this is Ellen Barber. We're going to do our best to reach things over, but just in case you forgot what pattern it is, this is Ellen Barber. This is by Hands Across the Sea Samplers, and it was the one that I started with Laura up at StitchCon. Oh my goodness, I wanted to say Stewart, Florida. That didn't come out right. Anyways, so we started at StitchCon, and then I kind of had a cool idea, so let me know if anyone else wants to join in, but I thought it would be fun to start a small sampler. Samplers are nice, especially like even alphabets, just they're easy to do and still talk. You're just doing a letter, so maybe we could start another one at StitchCon 2023. So that one is off, and she's off to the framer.
Beautiful.
That was a nice finish. Yeah, she's a cute girl, real cute girl. So then, as far as replacing her and wanting to keep a sampler in my rotation, I won't be starting this one until November. I've talked about it before, but this is Jane Bannister 1855. And a lot of you know her. She's a big girl, and I think a lot of them call her the cat sampler. I thought they were tigers at first. See these ones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they're actual cats. They just made them bigger. But so this will be my biggest Hands Across the Sea sampler that I've done, and we are going to do a sale and start this on Thanksgiving Day. So if anyone's interested, I know that Susan Stanley is going to join me on this, and 911 Stitcher Stacy. So I have all my floss, and one of my days where I'm just sitting around with Philip, I will go ahead and get my floss wound and ready to go. So that is that, and I will go ahead and use my Tammy Laylock bag. She makes
Beautiful.
the best bags. Yeah, really, really nice. So I will replace that one. And then I did finish, and I'll just show it real quick because I really like it. I'm going to need to borrow your paper a minute. But this was my my nativity.
Oh my goodness.
So
I love it.
I really like it. I'm glad you kind of can't see all the details, but I had to share. And the big controversy in the household is, do we put eyes on them?
Oh.
On Mary Joseph, and I tried French knots, and I didn't like it. They were kind of like bug-eye Jesus,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. So I just I
don't
thought
think they're
instead of
necessary.
and instead of rushing, I thought better to just hold and see. So I am going to get it framed, and I'm hoping to use a I lost the word. They were born in a manger. There you go. Good. See that? See
good
my
for
two
something.
people? Yeah. See my two people work. So, anyways, I was thinking it would look cute boxed inside a
like a
manger.
shadow
Yeah,
box almost.
exactly. If Hobby Lobby has the mangers and all that, and if I let my granddaughter use the characters and use that as the frame,
Oh, wow.
I thought maybe, but you'd have to get a lot to match up for that. And then I will show you that bag next week. The only other thing, so I finished the Nativity and I finished Ellen Barber, and then I worked on this is the Wacky Witches in Stitches that I'm doing with Sweet Chaos Stitcher. She lives in Ascatula.
Okay.
And they own the Yard Stop in Mount Dora
Love the
area.
Yard Stop.
Yeah, that's theirs. So anyways, we're stitching that together, and this is maybe a little hard. And what I'll do is, if we don't think they'll be seen, I'll walk around and show them up close if we need to.
Yeah.
But this was my progress. I at least got a crazy little witchy in there. The fabric is really, really pretty.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's modeled. I'm not sure they can tell, but yeah, it's fun. It's something really different and really bright, and
Who
these-
dyed that linen? It's beautiful.
I think it's called, I forgot to grab my glasses when we sat down to this.
I do have a magnifying
It's,
glass.
I love that. Did your sister make that, or
Yes,
did you?
Kathy made this.
I love it.
I use it all the time for magnifying.
I love that. That's perfect, isn't it? I kept it right here, so if you want to use your handy dandy Mirage, is that what it starts up on the top.
Mirage.
Yeah, 32 count Mirage. And I got it at 123 stitch, but really pretty when you put them all together. And then I got this bag, Tammy Blaylock made. Is that cute or what?
Yes.
So I wanted a kind of a cool vintagey witchy bag. So that's what's fun. This whole thing is just kind of one of those you sit down and it might not be your norm that you put out, but it's absolutely fun to stitch on. And that's it.
Nice.
I had usually we do a little, did you have anything wonderful happen this week? Or no? Did you
Not
garden? Did you paint?
You know, I didn't. My mother was a little ill, so.
Gotcha. That's not always easy, but I'm glad you're here for that because I get it with my dad. He had a pacemaker put in this week.
Oh, wow.
And it's amazing because the recovery is so fast. Like, I mean, it's your heart. You'd think there would be a little, lull in his life for a day, and nope,
No.
not at all. And the doctor told him, you will probably have more energy. He's 77. And I'm just like, he doesn't need any more energy, but it all went well with that.
That's
so
great.
I was really
Oh.
happy.
Good.
Okay, so maybe we could do just a couple of questions. How did this all get started for you? This is the stuff we love to learn. Have that little bit of background.
Well, I was a graphic designer with the Washington Post, and Kathy was taking a pause in kind of cross-stitch design and was willing to turn over her collection to me and teach me how to design using her programs. I was never much of a stitcher, I have to admit, but
So is
But
she
I love
older? Is
design.
she the older sister, or how do you?
There are 3 girls in the family. She's in the middle. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see, older sisters are good. I'm
Yeah.
the oldest, so
Are you?
we teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, we teach you something. My sister doesn't. I'll put it this way: she will stitch, but it's not her thing.
Right.
Books, and she's a big exercise guru right now. But yeah, she will stitch, but it's definitely not what she goes to.
Right.
So we're so different in that way.
Yeah.
But so then you kind of put your own flair to it.
I think so.
And do you remember
Yeah.
your first pattern?
It was called Island Sisters. It was based on this little island in a creek behind our house growing up in Maryland.
Oh, so
In Frederick,
cute.
Maryland.
And is that still something people can get?
They could, yeah,
They can,
yeah.
Okay. All right, well, what would you like to show us first?
Well, since these are taking up so much room, maybe we could just talk about my true passion is oil painting. So I brought in 3 examples of how I painted. I painted in a certain location. I set up my easel outside and
I love that.
bring all my supplies. It's called plein air painting. And then within a month or so, I thought, wow, this would make a nice cross-stitch design. So I thought I'd just show a few
Yeah,
examples.
no, I love that.
Okay, so maybe I'll
Is
slide.
this one that you first painted when you came down to Florida then?
Yes.
Is that where, okay,
This
okay.
is the view in my backyard. My house needs total renovation,
I'll
but
hold this for you.
thank you. But I love the yard. So I sit out there. This is a tangerine tree and my neighbor's little white fence and the scene close to a lake.
So pretty.
I have to admit, I don't think it's my best painting. It seems a little empty here. I think I like the sampler a little bit better. So I'll move that aside.
Isn't it funny how we critique our own things?
True.
You know, it's
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
you're always looking at it like,
What
but
could
I
have done
think that
better?
I think you might look that way just because the background, it's vibrant.
Yeah.
And that's a little more, with the blue sky, there's not as much light in it. Maybe this
True.
just pops.
Yeah.
Because that's really pretty.
And maybe I can go back into this and lighten the sky or add a cat. Who knows?
What kind of paints do you use?
I use oil.
Oil? Okay.
Yeah.
My grandma did oil painting. I have a picture in there that I'll share. My sister has one that is my mom and my uncle walking to the school bus through the snow. So she used to oil paint in her basement. And every now and then she'd let me dab a
that right?
tree, put a little bit of extra
was
light
nice of
green
her.
in. Yeah. So
That is funny. Well, maybe this painting needs 2 figures walking beside it. So we'll see.
I'm gonna hand you this.
They're
out.
always a work in progress. But I
You
should,
know what? It might be the lighting too, because now see there, that looks a lot lighter. I love that. You can see the shadow of the tree
Yeah,
underneath it, which
true.
they really do cast a pretty good shadow.
Yeah.
The orange and tangerines tree. Okay, I'm gonna prop it.
And I have to remind everyone that Chrissy stitched this model for
Yes,
me.
that was fun. That was the first one down here, and
Right.
there was a lot of oranges. That's what
Yes,
I remember.
a lot
I
of
think
shades.
was it 27 because it was an alphabet, which was fun. It was really fun.
And I don't know why I chose an orange cat, because my cat's gray and brown. But I think I was just in an orange mood when I designed this.
He was my favorite part. He and the owl.
Oh, right.
But yeah, the
Oh,
owl.
we are surrounded by owls. So
Yeah.
there you go.
But I like this one. So what is the name of the chart on this?
It is called Orange Tree Sampler. And
Okay.
fairly new release. So
I was going to say
obviously-
this was last year.
Yep, the chart is
Was
still
it an
available.
expo or market? I'm trying to remember
I
now.
think it may have been,
Maybe it was market.
it was market.
Yeah.
Because my sister Kathy and my niece Liz showed the
took-
model
that's
in
right.
Nashville.
That's right. Okay, so it was a market release of 2022,
Yes.
and you can easily get this. But I like it. It feels fresh and nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And this is going back a few years, but I just thought I'd show another example of a painting. This was done, it's called Chestertown, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I was painting at an event where a lot of painters congregate, paint all day, and then at the end of the event, they show their paintings. It's called Red-Winged Blackbirds.
Now, is that painted on? What do you paint on? What canvas, or do you change
I do
canvases all the
change.
time?
That was a
Okay.
canvas, and this you can see was hardwood with linen stretched on top of it.
That's cool. That's why I wondered. I caught that on the back of my head. I'm like, oh, did she paint on wood? That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And actually, this to me this has a little more life. This is called Red Winged Blackbirds, the chart. It's just one page. Do you want to display?
No.
Um,
We would get in trouble if we showed the back of the pattern. Yeah.
I was just showing that it's contained on one.
Oh, well,
One
if you're the
paper.
designer, if you don't mind, I'll flip it for a second.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that makes it, I will admit, that makes it really nice. Those are things that I'm
that true?
learning, that one piece makes it a lot nicer than 6, and, to be able to
Right.
fit it, and still, the pattern is still really legible.
And I like that you're not using a bag. You're helping.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
need to work on that. That's pretty.
Thank you. And just one more painting that went into a chart. This was actually in the same town, Chestertown. It's right on the Chester River in Maryland. I painted, whoops, you can't see.
Will it not fit there?
It's a
Hold it
little
for you.
low, but, so,
Oh, that's so pretty.
that was, I think, a morning. You can see the sunlight in the top.
And that's a widow's peak up
Widow's-
top? Is that what
I think it's called Widow's
Widow's
Walk.
Walk? Okay.
Yes.
And do you know the history of a widow's walk?
No, I just assumed those were called that because the wives of sailors would wait for
Yes.
their
Yeah.
husbands to come back
Yeah,
from sea.
there's a, one day I'll have to share with you down in Fort Pierce.
Uh-huh.
I think I was sharing with you that there was supposedly, it looks a little bit like this, but it's got the Widow's Walk, and right across the street is the Intercoastal. And they
Okay.
say it's haunted because at one point the, I believe the gentleman came home and found her not being faithful. and-
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a neat story, but it's in
Yeah.
Fort Pierce, Florida, by the Fort Pierce
Wow.
Inlet. There's a lot of history there, so. Not that that happened in this house here.
Well, we don't know that. and then here's the chart. What is this linen? Weeks
Oh,
dye
that's
work.
pretty.
It's in orange.
I was saying.
I do have a,
Looks like a little bit like a burnt.
it's called
Oh.
copper, well, just copper from Weeks Dye Works.
That's
And that
cool.
again is just a one page.
I love it, and that cat. Now we got a black. You got two cats on that
I
one.
do. I guess I've always had a
You know,
thing for cats.
that's so funny because I feel like I know so many of your patterns, and I've never seen that one or the last one.
Interesting.
And I love that one.
Oh, thanks.
That's cool.
So there you go.
Very cool. And that's called Widow's Walk,
Widow's
and you
Walk.
can still get it.
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that. And with the nautical.
Compass Rose, I
Yes.
guess it's called.
Yes, that's really cool. Does it share, when you do something like that, does it share on the back like the history that it was painted first, since you have that little picture of the painting, I'm
I
guessing?
think that's all I wrote. It's,
Okay,
yeah, inspired by a painting.
yeah. I like that. That's
Thanks.
cool. All right, are we ready for the
Sure.
reveals? or another question. We'll do another question.
Okay.
Okay. So, what did you think you were going to do when you were young and would grow up? So I knew you said you became a graphic designer, but did you see this coming, or just art as an aspect?
Well, I was torn between being a veterinarian, my love of cats,
Okay.
and going into art.
Okay. Yeah, as like I know it's strange what evolves
Right.
over time and what you really land on. I always laugh when my kids they think they know everything hands down, or they know nothing. Like, some just
Right.
really know, and I have two that are opposite. My daughter Carolina, she knew cooking, baking, did it, done. That's what she went to school for. Like, she just
Wow.
knew. And I keep telling my other daughter, not everybody knows.
No, that's
Sometimes
unusual.
you don't, and so for me, it's like I knew I wanted to be either a kindergarten teacher, veterinary would be cool, but that was a lot of math and science for
Right.
me.
Yeah,
That's
too much for
not
me
my
too.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but then my mom said, "Oh, you'd be on your feet all day if you're a kindergarten teacher," It's like, and then I ended up being a paralegal.
Oh,
I
wow,
think your
interesting.
whole life evolves.
Yeah.
So,
Depending on
anyways.
opportunities and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that that you would want to share that we would never think of about you?
oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that one.
What's
I
your
think-
favorite treat? You like candy or you like?
Oh, I like baked goods like blueberry cobbler,
Oh yeah,
apple
pies.
crisp.
Yes,
Yeah.
you'll need to try the Yalaha Bakery.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do you want to do the first one? These are her expo. Are they calling this fall expo?
I don't know. I saw 2022, but there was already one.
There was
in-
already. I
Yeah.
believe that this is considered their fall expo
Okay.
because I don't think there's been another one until. I mean, I'm taking a guess, but I don't believe we do another one till after the holidays.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're just going to call this the Fall Expo
Okay.
2022, and this is called
garden sampler.
I can get it out there probably a little farther if you want
Okay.
to talk a little bit about it.
Sure. I've always wanted to do an alphabet sampler. I know Kathy did alphabet sampler, whole kit and caboodle, which included every letter kind of boxed in with an image, which I love. So just to shake things up a little, I wanted it more organic. And maybe not A is for, but just an image in the letter A.
Right.
So I hope people can figure out or guess what every image is. In fact, I give the answers on the back of the cover.
I think it's gorgeous. I think that so many people right now have. I feel like I should have had good nails for this day to do the Vanna thing, but I think you're getting a really good response on this. I think it feels good, even though people are thinking of fall. I think they are absolutely in love with the colors of this one.
Oh, good.
And the greenery, and I love the nest, and there's just some really good. I like the eggplant. I'm not sure everybody can see that, but the colors are so pretty. So.
Thank you.
And this is the one you're going to do something special for the viewers today.
I will, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do, she is going to give away this pattern, and we're going to share something special. You can hold this one up if you want to. A little story that goes with it. Go for it.
I told my mother my plans, and I think I showed her maybe the A, B, C area. And she does not use a computer, so can't Google anything, but went home, found her gardening books, and with her beautiful handwriting, I wish you could really see this, sat down and wrote suggestions for every letter.
She has beautiful handwriting.
She really
Her
does.
U's and V are gorgeous.
Aren't they? Yeah. And she's 98 years old. So, and she was so enthused about helping. And I didn't use all these, some of these names are, to me, they wouldn't be recognizable images. But I did use some, like zinnia
And sometimes it's like carnation would be easy, but to stitch it or to recognize it is what makes it a little harder sometimes.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's a great word and you'd use it, but can you actually, well, you could probably
Pull it
design
off.
anything, but can you pull it off? Yeah, so that.
I don't know. Tulips obviously were easy.
I'm with her on the black-eyed Susan. Now that would be a flower I would like to grow. I have zero green thumb, but I love black-eyed Susans.
You know, I probably should have considered them.
You can put it in your next one.
My next one,
Yeah,
I
your
have a
next
black-eyed
one.
Susan. But I like her L's, lilac and lily. In celebration of moving to Florida, I wanted to include a lemon instead. But she had some great ideas here.
So we are going to, she's going to give away this pattern, and it'll be, we got to talk 2 seconds about giveaways here, but go ahead and you hold that and I can try and get the pattern up closer.
Okay.
It's called Garden Sampler. There we go. And what I was going to say is, the last time we got together, I shared, when I did hit 7,000 subscribers, I did a big giveaway.
Okay.
But nobody claimed it. Sometimes you have someone, it happens all the time, someone will watch 1 week and then they won't watch the next week, and so it's not hitting the right person. So what I decided to do on mine, so it doesn't get lost out there, is I'm approaching 8,000 at this point. So I might as well just wait to the 8,000, add to it, and then we'll do another giveaway then. So next Sunday, we'll announce the winner of Marty's giveaway for this pattern here. And so what we want you to do is Marty just talked about a flower. You're sure we got it out there, right?
I'm not positive.
You're not positive?
Did we talk about my mom's favorite flowers?
Maybe we should talk about that a little more. What are her favorite flowers? in
Well, she included the rose twice. She has R up here and R down here, both with
there? Oh,
rose.
rhododendron and rose. Okay,
Right,
gotcha.
and rose is up here. But I did have to say, since moving to Florida, she's really become a fan of orchids, which I'm playing.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. No, you got it.
So, yeah, she likes any beautiful flowering plant, but she really likes orchids and roses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk a little more about this at the end.
Okay.
And we'll slide that down here. I think it's going to go over really good. And you know, even if you stitched a letter, I like it. You don't have to rush things all the time. So
True.
even if you were like stitch a letter a week,
Huh.
it wouldn't take you too long to
Right.
finish it up. But okay, this one's kind of cool, very unique.
This is called Ebb and Flow. I have to say, I watched the most amazing movie on Netflix.
There we go.
Kind of a documentary on a videographer who decides to spend a year exploring underwater, and his focus was on actually just one octopus. So they're just amazing creatures, very smart, very sensitive, and I knew I wanted to work one into a nautical sampler.
Yeah.
So that's the result. And I found this verse written by a female writer in, I think, the late 1700s.
So do you want to read it?
Sure, yeah.
It's not always easy from there to see.
True. Come behold what treasures lie deep below the rolling waves. Riches hid from human eye, dimly shine in ocean's caves. Stormy winds are far away, ebbing tides brook no delay. Follow, follow, follow me.
And now we live on down south of us. We're in Central Florida, but I spent 20 years down on the Treasure Coast. And that's because so many of the ships have crashed or things like that. So you have a lot of divers on the East Coast, and it's called the Treasure Coast. So there's a lot that's why even down on the Keys, have you gone there yet?
No.
Okay. Well, you'll like
I would like
it.
to do it.
You'll like it. I've been there a couple of times going out on a cruise. You know, you'd always get down to Nassau and things like that. But I also went one time for the weekend and just enjoyed one of the bed and breakfasts that you get to stay at and walk. And it's really interesting. And I didn't even get to cover everything, but you'll like it because a lot of it obviously revolves around ocean treasures and things like that. But it's really cool. And the octopus, I don't know if you can see how cool this guy is, but I will reach it up there for you. But I like your colors. And you recently, what was the one, Linda's gonna stitch it that you have up at the Epic City right now with a blue one?
Oh, that's called Comfort Lighthouse.
Comfort Lighthouse. Like
Yeah.
I could see these two together.
Yes,
So
good point.
that's a pretty one, and it's still blue.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they'd look good together. Comfort Lighthouse and Ebb and Flow.
Ebb and Flow.
Okay.
And I have to say, octopus also are able to just change color, like
Yeah.
camouflage, and if they're excited, they're brighter red. They get spots. Just
Interesting.
interesting creatures.
I have to admit, I don't think I'd want to run up against one.
No, they're very strong
Yeah.
and 8
Yeah.
arms.
I'm not. My sister is a diver or can dive. Not me. Yeah, I don't. Like,
Yeah.
I would totally, like I had told Marty, I'm all about the manatees in Florida. They're my thing. They call it like Save the Fluffy Mermaid. They call them the Fluffy
Is that
Mermaid.
right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I like those. I wouldn't mind meeting up with one of those, but anything else in the water, not my thing. Not a shark. My daughter was like, I'll go shark diving. No.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to do any of that.
My brother Dan in Florida, he fishes from a bass boat, I guess.
Yeah.
And he says the manatees are very intimidating when they come by.
Yeah, they're big. They're
Yeah,
like 1,200
they're huge.
pounds. I mean, they're not small, but they got a lot of my facial thing. Like they got them big chubby cheeks. But okay. Well, if you've been watch me on Instagram or anything, then you'll know that this is my favorite of her expo releases, and this is called Egg in a Bowl.
So you have to say egg in a bowl.
Egg in a bowl.
It's just one word.
Egg in a bowl. Okay. So
This-
you tell your story, and I'm getting this up farther for you.
Oh, thanks. So this recipe has been in my family for generations now. It's so simple, and that's why I thought it would make. No, my daughter came up with the idea. My daughter Grace called
Aw.
me and said this would really involve her Mimi. She can weigh in on the recipe on the back, which I include,
I love that.
and a lot of the design elements. So this is supposed to be my mom in the blue. Blue was always her favorite color, and just a few
I love
few
that.
ingredients: eggs, butter, toast, and salt and pepper.
Look at that egg on her head. So I have already shared this when I was sharing that we were going to do a FlossTube together. I shared that I wanted one. I have been known as the crazy chicken lady, and I still have them, and I won't give up that part. I had an amazing chicken called Laverne.
Oh wow!
She was a therapy chicken, Mike. I mean, you would never think that you could have a chicken as a pet as close to you as like a cat or a house, but you can.
Really?
You really can. And she was so sweet. I mean, and she would. It's just really funny because when we first moved to Central Florida from the Treasure Coast, we moved and rented a farmhouse in Astatula, and it had a full wraparound farmer's porch,
Nice.
and he had what it was originally was his house he built for his boys and his family, and then when they moved off, at one point he built his mother-in-law a house that was like behind them, so he would rent out this farmhouse. So we got to live that, but we had no property to maintain. So it was kind of
Wow.
like the perfect way
Right.
to see how we did in the country and stuff. So it was really funny because he was a cattle rancher, so he had hundreds and hundreds of black Angus and 12 donkeys when we got there. But anyways, he allowed us to have some chickens, and so we got 4. And if anybody knows me, they know. And my profile picture of me is me and Laverne, and that just stuck. So that's how finally a farm girl came
great.
to be, was because I was 50. And
Oh.
so it was crazy. But
That
anyway,
is a
she
wonderful
would rock with me. I could rock her to sleep.
Wow.
And you would think, are they gonna go at the they don't go to the bathroom on you. Like they know. And she just she was the sweetest
Aw.
thing. And so anyways, we won't go to the sad story, but when we finally moved, she unfortunately didn't survive the first week out
Oh.
there, and it was just so sad because I didn't know we had a coop, and they just had to, when you transport a chicken from one farm to the next and they free range, which is what I had, you kind of keep them locked up for a couple of days so they kind of get their bearing.
Yes.
And I did that, and I had we used playhouses, kids playhouses for coops, and Randy and I would just modify them, and it worked out really great. And a raccoon flicked the latch.
Really?
Yeah, and I should have known better, but it was I never cried so hard over
Over chicken.
chicken. But it's not funny. Like it was really
Yeah.
like that
No, that
chicken
was
was
your pet.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, and you could just seriously.
That is
So I'm gonna do a sal with this one, and we're gonna call it egg in a basket, all at once. Egg in a basket. Egg in a bowl. Oh, I said basket. So
That's okay.
yeah, I'll get it right. But I love your butter churn, and
Oh, thank you.
I think my favorite part is the actual salt and pepper, like sprinkling down. I don't know if y'all
Well,
can see that.
It's funny. I struggled with that because I had the letters S and P upside down, and the S was fine, but the P looked like a upside down D. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see.
didn't work.
Yeah, I see, and I struggle with S's. I don't know why. They're not. They seem to take up a lot of room when you're designing something. But I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
it. So, anyways, very very cute. And this is, what is your mom's name?
Trudy.
Trudy. So this is Miss Trudy in her kitchen,
Yes.
making her famous recipe.
And I have to say, this may be, I'm jumping the gun here, but I did write first in a series from Trudy's Kitchen because she has always been such a good baker and cook. So
Okay.
I'm sure I can come up with another, or she can come up with another.
Definitely. Now, is this at all? Was your childhood home in Maryland, or was it?
Yeah.
So you kind of can visualize the kitchen and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
to bring those elements in.
I could.
Yeah. Okay, so let's, we're forgetting one thing, and
What's that?
your sister and Liz will get upset. What is what are they stitched with? We gotta remember to do that.
Oh, okay.
That was my fault.
No, no, this is 32 count Belfast linen
Okay.
country mocha using DMC. And
Okay.
I do include needlepoint silk conversions.
Okay, so this is awesome. This is right up my alley. 32 count.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, all right. And you said country mocha?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Okay, let's
Should we go back and do
Yep,
the
let's backtrack.
okay.
What's the stitch count?
The stitch count is 81 wide by 96 high.
Oh my gosh, that's so perfect. That's going to be perfect for a sal because it's not huge, but look at the detail inside that. You got a lot going on, and I love that. Okay, cool. All right. Yes, let's backtrack. That's what we're here for, really. Now, this one is stitched on Ebb and Flow.
This is on Needle and Flax's 40 count Steinbeck. And it's DMC.
So the model was stitched in DMC too?
Yep. And it has needlepoint silk conversions.
Okay. So I have to say, I ordered some 40 count needle and flax. I did.
Oh,
I did,
I
yeah.
heard last week you tried it out.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot and see.
Well, good.
I won't change this one up because it would be too small, is my guess.
Right.
But I'm excited to have it
Oh,
and,
I hope
and
it
see.
does
So I
well.
can personally tell you that linen is the way to go. Definitely try some 40 count. All right, I'll
Okay.
hold this one up and you read the back.
Okay. This is Needle and Flax's 40 count Dolly Madison. And we use DMC again with needlepoint silk conversions provided.
And see look how beautiful it is with DMC.
Yeah, I hate for people to spend too much money on their samplers.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to, and if you have it in your stash, then that's fine, and you can trade out some if you want to. But it's absolutely beautiful DMC. I'm the same way. I mean the sampler I'm gonna do. I mean it has 40 threads, so
Yeah.
but I really enjoy stitching with DMC.
Mhm.
I like them both. Okay, so we made sure we got that right because they would have been.
Lots
Would have
of
been
questions?
texting you. They would have, your sister would have been saying you didn't tell them the fabric. You didn't tell them. Chrissy
Oh.
did a bad job.
We didn't do stitch count on this one.
Oh,
did we?
okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So stitch count is 104 wide by 258 high. And
Not bad.
did we do it for the Ebb and Flow? The stitch
You
count?
know, we'll just keep doing it.
Oh my gosh.
That's all right.
Okay.
They get to see it over and over again.
Stitch count is 130 wide by 197 high.
So, what do you think out of all your designs is your most popular? Could you possibly name one?
Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow?
Yeah,
Maybe
that-
because Kathy did half of it. I don't know, but
You think that is the one that has sold the most, or just the one that's?
I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have mine, so I thought maybe we could
Oh.
do a little pattern parade. These
Sure.
are mine that I have got over the years. Some of them were my mom's. So, and then this one Marty had just given me because I had stitched the model, which I didn't have, so I do love that. Need to make it for my own house now. Okay, so these kind of go back, and if there's anything that you have a story that you want to...
Kathy designed that one.
This one?
Mhm.
So this
Yeah.
is...
Primitive stocking.
oh, and that was your guys'
That's
Maryland,
where she
like
lived.
where the address was?
Yeah, at the time.
I can slide this one out. But this one I know was my mom's. I'm not sure that you'll be able to see. It's alphabet and...
Stars? Is that the one with stars?
Yeah, it's got kind of patriotic. I know that was my mom because she kept them in these slide ones.
And Kathy
one?
designed, she designed all the stockings.
Okay.
Yep.
Now these are the Quaker stockings.
Yeah, and the models are in a brown family and a blue family.
Okay. So that's that one.
These are all popular again, the
Yeah.
stockings.
Yes.
I love this one. It reminds me of Queen Elizabeth.
Is it, who's did this one?
Kathy.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that about my own.
Okay.
No,
Well,
these are classics.
yes. Well, I don't. You see, I like. You need to do one with Grace as a name on there for your
Okay,
daughter.
yeah.
Because this is. I like the faith, hope, and honor.
Mhm.
And I love the design on the.
And I should say I have another daughter, Anna, who is so
Aw.
good at punch needle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's her thing.
She
huh?
designs it. She'll do my models for me. She's really good at it. Kathy. Oh, I love Sarah Spur. That's by Kathy.
Okay. Yeah, that's I love. Sometimes I love the funky ladies. There's some
Mhm,
funky ladies
yeah.
in there, and I'm attracted to them.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a pretty one. That's
It
not.
is.
She's not as funky as a lady as some.
No.
These are going way back. Maybe I just have the old one.
That's okay.
And I love the two Carol Saltbox Stitcher. I watched her FlossTube yesterday, and she's got. Who did Frederica?
Kathy.
Kathy.
She did
the
Frederick and
bird.
Frederica, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And same here.
Worthy Brown.
Yeah. But I don't have those two yet, but I do like the birds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Her birds are beautiful.
Yeah.
And she's done many more birds
Yeah.
since Carriage House.
This was a nice one. These, like, I feel like these are, I don't know where my mom had got these from, but I feel like this one goes way back.
I love this one. It doesn't have like miserable road or there's
Hopeful? Hopeful? Yes, you're right. I can see it.
misery. One
Yes.
road is named Misery.
Good Intent Farm, Mount Misery Road. Now, there's a snake in there. I may not stitch that snake. I'm just saying.
something charming about that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kathy's
That's
amazing.
hopeful. Now this one, she did all the stockings.
Yep.
This one I bought when I went up to StitchCon, and the models there, or a models there. And I think sometimes, again, you cannot tell from a picture.
Right.
That one is just, is there a name on it? Oh, just
Sampler
sampler stocking. Okay.
It is gorgeous.
So, yeah, I got that at StitchCon. And mostly because you could see it hanging there, you know?
Yep.
Okay, so how did Hawk Run come about?
It was out of Kathy's imagination.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, did you grow up on a farm, or was it
was a
just
Farmette, I guess.
farmish?
Yeah, we had animals, but we made pets out of the cows, and
That
we
was
did
our
everything
hobby
wrong.
farm.
Yeah,
Hobby,
hobby-
yeah, we did.
yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot wrong, but
but
a great time,
right,
but not a true blue. You know.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
romanticized the farm life. Because
Yes.
I was 1 year old when we started
Aw.
selling off the property. So.
Right. Oh, yeah, that was me too.
Yeah.
That was me too. But I have 3 of the Hawk Run, the farms.
Yeah, that's one I designed, just based on farm life.
Right.
And I gave it a little different twist. I have days of the week, so an activity done on the farm for each day of the week.
And I love the, what caught my eye is the double yolk. There's a cute little, and the apple butter. Like, you kind of captured some of the things that, as far as farming goes, oh, sorry, I covered your head.
Oh, I don't care.
But, yeah, I love those.
Thank you.
And I think that, like you said, you don't have to stitch all of them.
You don't. They're like
You-
individual.
Right. You really don't have to. But I have to get going. And autumn,
Autumn was Kathy's.
really good.
Yep.
Love it.
Beautiful. I'd say my favorite.
Your favorite?
Favorite Hawk Run.
And I know there's a few people that try to keep it like all fall, so they have been able to swap out. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but they've made it where, so you have Halloween at Hawk Run, or Halloween at Hawk Run.
Right.
And then the autumn. And so what they wanted to do is they'll trade out the witch for the scarecrow.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So they can keep it, so I think they have to change two. These two here,
I see.
the cemetery on Autumn and the witch. And I know that they'll pick them from the others, but for sure they take the scarecrow. And that way if you aren't into Halloween,
Right.
because some just aren't,
Yeah.
you still can still make it work.
Right.
And I think that's what's cool about the blocks.
That's
and
a great
then
idea.
this was one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, yeah? Oh, wow.
Yep. So this is Lincoln, and I absolutely love this one. So he
thank
will go
you.
back there on my Lincoln wall and get him going. But anyways, and I don't know if you know Stitching with the Sister Lees, maybe, but Colleen, she stitched this, and it turned out so beautiful.
Oh, good.
So that is where I first saw it, was from
Nice.
Colleen.
Nice.
So, yeah. So that's it. Now,
Okay.
did you want to talk about,
Only if there's time.
yeah, we're good.
I've always liked alphabets and different fonts.
I'll show it to him.
Okay, and Kathy designed this along with just one called the Hornbook Sampler. This is called Hornbook Revisited. And not too long ago, I came across a Hornbook style frame, and I thought, oh, I should do my own version.
Mhm.
But I'm posing the question: is this frame like too intimidating? Would people not be interested in the pattern because they feel like they'd have to find a similar frame?
So the question, as she said, like for me, I don't see that as a problem, because if I just want to frame it, it's still going to be, a new design of an alphabet, and a lot of sampler stitchers and a lot of people like stitching alphabet. So it wouldn't deter me, but I see what you're saying. Sometimes you're able to, we pick up these things thrifting,
Right.
and you just don't know. So, let us know in the comments, and let Marty know, like, would you be deterred from stitching something if the model was inside of something that you maybe can't get exactly?
Right.
Because I know, like, for me, even to be able to say, if I were to put the nativity in that, it may mean there's not Hobby Lobbies everywhere.
Right.
So are you not going to buy it because of that, or would you be inclined not to, or would you make it your own? And I think that we are in this era of cross stitching where people are loving making it their own. So I don't think that I don't think you'd have any problem using that as what the model would be.
Okay.
And people not wanting to stitch it and make it their own.
Okay.
Because that's what we keep encouraging people to do, especially the younger generation that seems to be coming into the stitching, especially since COVID and all that kind of stuff. If you've got DMC, use DMC. If you have a variegated and you don't want to change the colors, people use the variegated. Some people don't like confetti stitching, so they're going to find something that works for that. So I wouldn't think that it would, but let us know. We'd be happy to kind of hear what you have to say about that. So now that you've had a little bit of time go by for the giveaway and for the pattern for Garden Sampler, what we need you to do is name the flower that was your mother's favorite.
Okay.
Correct? So use that as a word in the comments. You can use just the word, or you can use it in a sentence, or you can share something you love, because we do love the comments. And then we will let the random generator picker sort the word out next Sunday, and then the winner can email me and I will pass it on to
Great.
Marty. So
Thank you for doing that.
this will be good. Is there any other thing? We're good?
I think
we got
that's all I
the
brought.
show and tell?
I think so.
Okay, well, I was so happy to have you here with us,
Thank
and
you.
I hope that we can do it again, and hopefully Market will be really good. I keep thinking somebody should do a sal. Somebody should do a sal of this, and I'll do a sal of this.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And then we'll tag you, did we have your Instagram? What your Instagram is there one that you prefer that you show more on?
Probably Carriage
Mostly
House
Carriage
on
House?
Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, and the models are there. So if you do the sal with us, then you can tag her in it and she can see your work. But anyways, okay, we have to always say one thing. I don't know that you've watched all of the 57.
Maybe not.
It is called cut out the rest.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
It's not too bad.
Oh, you make it easy.